Good morning. Mhm. Today's sharing focuses on the call last night of the collective imagination. The title that I've chosen is I Agree with Heather and Those Who Ask the Hard Questions. Heather spoke a great deal last night on the collective imagination. From her perspective, it's already done. The game of contrast and separation in which we as humans have been involved has reached its conclusion. Many have awakened to the truth that we are all one. The new paradigm is here now. At the same time, many are still challenged by the residual effects of the old paradigm. They want to actually see evidence of the change in ways that are substantial and verifiable. For me, it is relatively easy to see both perspectives, since I can still identify with both aspects within my own experience. As I said yesterday, I give myself a lot of grace as I transition from the old to the new, from the bondage of fear to the liberation of love. And I do provide the link. I'm in a strange place because I'm on the verge of actually connecting with someone at a deep relationship level, and I want to keep that private. And much of my focus, of my attention in recent weeks, has been on the development of that relationship. And yet it's not something that I talk about in very much detail. Most of my friends still do not even know the name of this other individual. And I had a dream in which I was which I needed to introduce her. She was there, and I would needed to introduce her. And I thought, well, what name should I tell them? Because I don't usually, when people ask what's her name, I say I'm not telling anyone. In any case, that has been very much the center of my focus and my attention. That's where my feelings are, my thoughts are, my heart is, my mind is. But I was really uplifted last night in listening to Heather. Heather probably spoke at least 50% of the total time of the 2 hours that I listened. Once it went off of Blog Talk, I was finished. And I don't know if I'll go back on and see how much more came on later. But I get what she's saying. In fact, I have gotten what she was saying from the beginning, from when I first started reading the UCC documents filed for the liberation. I mean, many people did not get it. Many people still don't get it. To them, it's gibberish. It's airy-fairy stuff. It doesn't make sense because, frankly, many people are still in the position of only living in the 3D world. And I have been not so much on the fence, but able to identify with both times. I mean, unlike Mr. Bill Ballard, I can't say that I have no fear, and I can't say that I'm living totally in 5D. 5D is part of my life, whatever you want to call that. And Heather says it really doesn't make any difference. She said in the program last night, it's not about ascension or anything else. It's not about any awakening. It's just about being and doing, and you're going to be and do according to where you are in your process of remembering who you are. Which that's what the awakening is. It's just simply remembering who we are, and we are always connected to all life, whether we can see that and are willing to allow that possibility or not. And it's not just a possibility, it's the way it is. We are all interconnected. Life is one web, not two webs, not two polarized factions constantly competing against each other, although that is what we have experienced because that's what we created to experience. And that's what she's saying. That's what all the mystics have always been trying to tell us, that we are connected to the divine always. When you know yourself, you know God. If you seek to know God, you will find yourself, because God is simply the cause, the first cause, and we are the effect. And we're not going to understand the effect without understanding the cause, and the cause is love. Love is the ultimate reality that allows us to experience bliss, pleasure, unity. It allows us to experience ourselves as being part of a greater whole. And ultimately it ends loneliness. But that's not been our experience for a long time as humans. And we have forgotten that we were connected to all life. We have forgotten that. And the whole game, as Heather says, the whole game was about, can we choose to come in to this illusory world and remember who we are? Can we accomplish that? Can we, with all of the odds against us, actually wake up and say, oh my God, I am. I am. Just like Jesus woke up, just like the Buddha woke up, just like many people through the ages have awakened, like Anastasia in the Ringing Cedars of Russia series. These are awakened individuals. And for me, I'm not a guru. I'm not a master of anybody else's life. Neither do I want to be anyone's ruler. Neither do I want to be anyone's... I don't want to be somebody else's guru. I integrate and have enough challenge integrating the facets I see in my own multifaceted being. I was going to say personality, but my personality is just one part of my being. It's not all that I am. This man that sits in front of this camera every day for 2.5 years, approximately, he doesn't have all the answers for you or for anybody else. Sometimes I don't even have all the answers for me. So I can easily identify with people that are still being challenged by the court systems, still being challenged by the banks, still being challenged by so-called law enforcement, still being challenged in many ways. And I can't say that I would be thrilled, as Brian said, I realize that by not making my car payments, that they might take my car or whatever, that they might do this to me or do that to me, and I don't care. I'm at a place where I know that it all works for my good. I have moments where I'm in that place that Brian mentioned last night when he was sharing. But I have moments when I'm caught up in my own fears, my own insecurities, and I've been willing to share them both with you. I've been willing to tell the truth, because to me, telling the truth is really what integrity is all about. It's allowing all of the pieces and recognizing, well, that's me. That's me. I'm the one that's afraid. That's me. I'm the one that's not afraid. Oh, you say, the paradox. Ron, come on, tell us the truth. Well, I am telling you the truth. I go back and forth between the old and the new paradigm thinking. I do. And I don't try to hide it. I don't try to conceal it from myself or from others. And I certainly don't conceal it from God or whatever my higher self and the higher essences that I communicate with. I don't try to hide it from them. When I'm feeling low, I admit I'm feeling low. But no matter whether I'm feeling low or feeling high, I recognize that I am the Son of God. and so are you. We are all sons and daughters of the living God. Each one of us is and always has been, regardless whether we play a dark role or a light role. It doesn't make any difference. That's the paradox that I've been trying to get people to see for a very long time. And I've been trying to integrate both sides of myself and bring them together in a divine marriage, which is why I'm so excited about the relationship that's being formed, because it can finally get out of just my own inner world and actually be manifested in the physical world. And many things that we've been unable to manifest in the physical world, including peace on earth, are becoming more and more available to us as we recognize that this is a hologram, and we can make the hologram reflect whatever we choose to make it reflect. We've chosen, obviously, to make it reflect the maximum contrast. And we've done a bang up job, an excellent job of portraying that reality, that everything is polarized, everything seems to be fighting everything else, everything seems to be at war. Constant battle, constant disharmony, constant disunity, constant disease. Well, we're recognizing that we've done this, and we're looking at the world that we've created. Oh, and we're saying, we can do better. And we are going to do better. We are already doing better, because many of us are waking up, and it doesn't take a huge number. As Bill Ballard said yesterday in his video, or Monday's video, I guess it was, as he said, we've already reached the critical mass. He said it only takes 7 to 8,000. I thought 7 billion, the square root of 1% of the world's population, was a little over 8,000. But I did that calculation a long time ago, and maybe I didn't remember it exactly right. In any case, I want to encourage you, if you can't already see both sides, to be able to see both sides, and to be able to see them with compassion, and especially those that are still caught in the fear paradigm. See us with compassion. It's not us and them. See us, because we all have to deal with fear. If we're in a human body and we're on this planet at this time, there's no way that we don't have to deal with fear, because fear is and has been a predominating influence on Earth for a long time. And we're not going to get out of it like that unless there's some kind of a supernatural miracle, and I more suspect that it will be a process. It will be a slower process for some and a faster process for others, but a process nevertheless, as we integrate and become whole through the process of allowing both parts of ourselves to be there and identifying with them, and yet saying, I am not that, and I am not that, yet I am both, and I am more. I don't know if you understand what I just said, but that's the marriage, the divine marriage, where you recognize, I am that and I am not that, yet I am both that and what I am not, because I've experienced it. I am both. They are both reality to me. And when we recognize that neither reality is the final analysis, if you will, the final truth. The final truth is that we are all one, and that includes all the fragments of ourselves individually. All those fragments are us. All of those experiences are our experiences, and they all have value and they all have meaning. And as we choose to center ourselves, as we choose to come home, as it were, we will recognize again and again till we finally get it completely, we will recognize that we are loved, and love is the way home, and love overcomes the fear. but not by pushing the fear away, but by embracing it and encompassing it with compassion and with understanding. I thank you for listening again this morning. I do hope to do a video with Aristo a little bit later for tomorrow. As I mentioned last week, it's going to be every Wednesday unless something changes. In any case, thank you and namaste.